Hi everyone, it's Justine, and it is that time of the year again. This video is dedicated to fashion trends, everything that is coming this fall-winter season now. It is a sort of curated view of everything that we've seen on the runways internationally, what I think is actually wearable, and how to integrate these trends into your actual wardrobe. Or you could also just sit back, enjoy the trend boards that I will share with you in a minute, have a look at the pretty images, find some inspiration, and that works too. I'm aware of the irony of filming a video about fall winter when it's still 30 degrees Celsius out there, probably even more in here with all the lighting. So right now I take a pool party over a chimney fire anytime, yet I think that when this video goes out, it will actually be fall. So just imagine, it's cold out there. Let's go. First trend, monochromatic outfits of any color, just not black or white. That is a nice change, isn't it? We're in for a colorful winter. You can play the trend in a bright color, like a saturated pink, red, or orange. Or you can play in more muted tones, like camel, wine, or forest green, like the 3 photos on the right side of the board. You get a stronger monochromatic effect if you match not only the top and the bottom, but also the accessories, like Jacquemus did with the earrings, Gucci with the hat, or Stella McCartney with these fancy sunglasses. This trend is a little bit tricky, maybe, I agree, if you think that. If you wear one color throughout, you could think, this is gonna make me look like one huge candy. That would mean you went too far. The reason why the outfits that I showed on this board actually work and look classy is because they are very long, they lengthen the silhouette, they're boxy, they're absolutely not tight, they're a bit, we say flou in French, which is the opposite of tailored. They focus on comfort rather than highlighting the body contours. And I think that's the very important part in this trend. If one color throughout feels like too much, you could do what Stella McCartney did on her look. Every item is green, but not the same green. The pants are green blue, the shoes are green brown. And then the fact that she's wearing green throughout doesn't really strike or bother the eye anymore. The next trend is about power and about putting on our suits. You know this cliche of the woman in the 80s having to put on man's suits and super high heels in order to be taken seriously in the office? Well, now, fortunately, we are at a point beyond such a simplistic dichotomy, and suits for women in women's wear are getting a lot more interesting. Here you see suits that do not show cleavage or legs. Some of them wear the suits with flats, they all look sharp, but comfortable. At Altuzarra, TB, and Stella McCartney, you see the waist is belted, like a reminder of the feminine body, or maybe also as some kind of protective accessory. If you read 1984 by Orwell, you remember the chastity belt worn by Julia, the main female character. These women look like they're in charge of their destinies, don't they? And the Carrie Underwood lady at Balenciaga is running for president, clearly. The tailoring category seems, in my opinion, to be shifting towards more androgyny, either in the choice of models or in the clothes themselves. And for the clothes, either it's women's wear, tailored women's wear that is menswear inspired, or it is becoming more gender neutral overall. I think it's a healthy evolution because it enfranchises us from having the pressure of looking either like a real woman or like a real man, as if there was nothing in between, and what does a real woman mean anyway? I gathered more examples for this trend just to give you more options. An oversized suit at Gucci, ignore the spikes for now, I'll be tackling that separately in a few minutes, that's a different trend. Flowy, where the coat and the hats are accomplices, like at Chanel, or you style a suit jacket with the dress and matching pants, or with the dress and opaque tights, or the jacket itself turned into a dress, like at McQueen. That's more of an evening outfit though. Okay, so what matters here is at the shoulder level, a tailored, fitted shoulder, and then going downwards in the outfit towards the feet, you can do or design or wear any kind of design details, fit or shape you like. It's very free. I'm looking forward to seeing how high street brands will tackle this trend. I have to say I'm highly interested in that one. Trend number 3, long, flowy coats. This season, really, outerwear garments are having a moment. I'm seeing historical inspirations everywhere. Maybe that's because I'm in a middle-age inspiration phase myself. I don't know. Possible. Even quite likely. The coats are very long and they flow around you. Drapey, not stiff at all, comfort first. The Celine version looks a bit like a cowboy. At Max Mara, Oscar de la Renta and GW understand the lapels are XXL. Apart from the frog-style coat at Marine Serre, they're all meant to be wrapped on your chest for you to feel cozy. The Chanel coat must have belonged to the Little Red Riding Hood. This girl looks like she just came out of a fairy tale book. Lovely outfit. A long coat with lapel suits an office look, whereas if you're okay with having less structure, less tailoring, something a bit less fitted, a bit more flowy, try to look for a cape. Capes are extremely versatile garments that I really, really like personally. I'm sure we will see capes a lot more than usual in all the shops, no matter which price level this winter. Then in terms of fabrics, there is, as always in winter, a lot of wool, tweed, thick winter fabrics. But what's new-ish, and a nice change, is that fleece is a new fabric used in outerwear. It used to be okay only for activewear. Now it's getting appropriate also for ready-to-wear and for office wardrobes, really. Our next trend is getting darker. I called it moody florals. When you think of florals, you probably see summer-like prints, light fabrics, airy dresses, cute, feminine. Well, this season it's dark, even a bit dangerous, highly contrasted between the intense color of the flowers and the deep black background. It's not so much a daisy, you see, it's rather a rose with barbed spikes. They're not trying to look cute. The model at Junya Watanabe on the right is wearing a wig with bunches and makeup like a doll, yet even she doesn't look cute. She looks more like the evil doll, if any doll. They're all not showing much skin. The collar is either a tight crew neck or even a stand-up collar, like at Paco Rabanne. The prints are beautiful and extremely varied this season. The fabric on that Richard Quinn outfit seems velvety and super luxurious. Now, if you're like me and you're thinking, I don't really wear huge florals all over, it's not me, I hear you. Look at that Prada dress that I just showed. Imagine that as a skirt, maybe a bit shorter if you don't like that big length, with a turtleneck black fitted sweater with long sleeves. That will look incredibly chic. It is getting darker yet. Our next trend is pretty much announcing the end of the world. It's not an optimistic trend. It's not really positive, I'll be honest. In a nutshell, Matrix meets Blade Runner, Senna the Warrior Princess, and there is a potential attack with gas. We're seeing black leather, metal rivets at McQueen, spikes on the masks and the torsos at Gucci. The Marine Serre show was pretty extreme. It was in a cellar with laser lights, green smoke. The models wore gas masks to complete that metaphor. Basically, she was depicting the apocalypse, the end of the world. I watched the video of her show and the documentary by Loïc Prigent. My first reaction was to shut down. I thought this is way too depressing, too negative. When I look at fashion, I want to have good dreams, and this is just going to give me nightmares. But then it sunk in, and I actually changed my mind. Yes, it is important that some designers show different perspectives, do things differently, and question what we consider pretty or even functional. That is what runway fashion is for, and so that's why I ended up putting this photo on my board. So while this trend might not be the most wearable, clearly, forget the gas masks for a minute and just look at the metal, the shining surfaces, the hard materials. This is what it is about, and in the end it is quite punk, isn't it? Where's this trend coming from? Maybe it's the feeling of fear following the Weinstein affair. Maybe it's the debate that is everywhere right now about the possible consequences of climate change. Maybe the political instability in many parts of the world right now. There are several different reasons why we might feel that we need to protect ourselves while keeping control at the same time. What do you think about this trend? Let's move on to accessories. The next trend is about chains. We're not really moving on though, because chains would go very well with the outfits that we just discussed. It's mainly gold, silver, or any other material that looks like gold or silver. Chains can be worn as necklaces, but also as body jewelry, like at McQueen and Marni. The small size is the Saint Laurent version, that necklace. It's a curved chain where the loops are flattened out. But if you go bolder, you can pick the G.W. Anderson version. A lot bolder. I think the necklace at Oscar de la Renta is called a rollo chain in English, in case you want to look for that one. You know, where the rings are just attached like this at 90-degree angle. If you like statement jewelry overall, this one is a great year to do some shopping. I was just surprised not to see more chain bracelets, because that would look awesome, wouldn't it? Like a huge cuff in chain. I would totally wear that. I would wear the necklace plus the bracelets. Do also look for not silver or gold chains, but more colorful ones in colors from the rainbow, so that you could even technically match the color of your chain with the main colors in your wardrobe. Very wearable trend and potential for lots of fun. Now I'd like to mention some further trends which were actually already there last time around, but that are still going strong, or even stronger than they were before. The power shoulders from last fall, that started mainly at Balenciaga and Saint Laurent, if I'm correct. Now everyone makes power shoulders. The advantage is that they make you look taller and sportier, a bit like an inverted triangle body. But in my case, I already have broad shoulders, so I would look like a rugby player. This trend is maybe not for every body type, it's up to you to decide. Same thing with that utilitarian trend that I mentioned in my previous trend video. If the end of the world is coming, we need boiler suits with pockets to keep our tools and equipment and stuff. It makes sense really that this trend has continued conceptually. Do I need to mention the 90s? I talked about that in my video on Pinterest trends for 2019, which I will link here in the corner and down below in the description if you want to have a look. I also talked about this in a video 2 years ago. At that time it was 80s revival, and I said, bet that after the 80s revival a 90s revival will come. Well, we are in the middle of it. No wonder that the Spice Girls picked this year to go on tour again. It's a home run. You see biker shorts, platform buffalo shoes, grunge jackets, scrunchies, tattoo chokers, everything the 90s had to offer is back, ladies and gentlemen. Thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much. Now I'm curious to know, out of everything you've just seen, which trend was your favorite? Is there anything that you were expecting to see on the boards and that I did not mention? It's funny because trends are not the same everywhere in the world, or not in the same proportions, and there are people watching this video from everywhere in the world, so I'm very much looking forward to your comments. Other than that, I will link here and down below in the description a playlist with all my previous trend videos if you want more inspiration and more trend boards, because I do that twice a year. This was the fall winter one, I did the spring summer one, and so on since I started this channel. So there is a lot of inspiration in that playlist. For more fashion in general, don't forget to subscribe to this channel before you go watch the next one, and I will see you very soon in a new video. Take care. Bye.